So the League SBCs are back and you might have an absolute gold mine in your club. Today we're going to be going through everything that's come out in the last 24 hours, including loads of investments. But before we do start this, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily subscriber trading guide over on my Twitch, which you can get for free with Amazon Prime. All you got to do is click on the top link on the description and subscribe over on Twitch. You can do this for free with Amazon Prime. If not, it's £5, €5, or $6. In there you get yourself daily updated investment guides and daily updated trading guides for both shadow and silver trading. So in today's video we are going to be talking about basically what's been going down the last 24 hours. But more importantly, I'm going to be talking about what might be actually sitting in your club, which might be worth some decent coins from this. And we'll talk about all the market implications. So yesterday, if you guys weren't aware, we went and got ourselves the brand new basically old school league upgrade. Now if you guys aren't aware, basically what EA allowed you to do is they allowed you to submit you basically need to submit a whole team from every club in the league, and as a result you'd get yourself loads of some tradable, well, it used to be all tradable packs, but then eventually went into all tradable, some tradable and some untradable, and eventually they just stopped dropping them. Well, this is kind of EA's version of kind of dropping them back, where instead of needing a whole team you just need one player from the team. But even though it needs one player from the team, players have still gone to some crazy prices. I mean, the requirements for these are pretty interesting. So we are going to talk about talk about this one first. So in this one, what you need to use is you need to use yourself 11 players from the women's, I guess, League Une or whatever. And it needs to be a 74 rating with 26 chemistry. So what has that gone and done for the market of the women's, women's cards? Well, I'd recommend checking every single League and Women card in your club because they've all gone pretty insane. So, for example, all the League and Women goalkeepers, I mean, for golds at least, are going for around about 2.7k, but subjective on what players you have, some are even up to 2.6. We can go to left backs, and you can see that left backs have done very well as well. All gold left backs are up to around about 2k minimum. If we go and look at the likes of right backs, we can see that the right backs have done very well. They're up to about 1.6k minimum. I'm sure if I go look at centre mid's probably be a little bit worse just because it's more of a saturated position. There you go, you can see there 900 coins. But what you want to be looking for is you want to be looking for any of those defender positions. You want to be looking for goalkeeper, left wing and right wing. I mean, again, you can see some insane prices on some of the silvers. Also, do make sure to go and check out some silvers in your club because, again, silvers in certain positions have done very well. So the first thing to go and look out for in your club is the League and Women, especially in the defensive positions. Now this one was a little bit easier to go and do. This was basically just wanting you to use a team of League and Men or League 2 men. I did go and check it, and the League 2 players, so the second French league, aren't really up, so no money on that. We then go through these. Right here, and the first one is PSG versus Auxiliary. Auxiliary, again, very expensive. I think they're all the players at basically max price. If we can go and check the market right now, yeah, you can see right there that they're going for 5k. So do make sure to go and check your club for AJ Auxiliary. The second one we go and have right here is Harvey AC versus Olympic Lyon. And again, make sure to go and check your club because these guys are also very expensive. So again, it is this club right here. Now, one thing I did cop onto when we were streaming yesterday is that some of these clubs actually have a women's variation. So what we checked quickly was we checked, okay, well, do the women's variations count? And yes, the women's variations do count. So do make sure to go and check your club because not only are the men very expensive from these clubs, but the women, again, are also very expensive. Again, coming in probably around about 2.5k for the women. Also, if you do want to go and complete this SBC for cheaper, do make sure to go and look at if there's women club equivalents of the men's club. I will be on the tutorial channel today going through how to go and complete these League SBCs for as cheap as possible. So if that is of interest to yourself, do make sure to go and check out the tutorial channel. Their second link is on the description. So Harvard AC players have gone up quite nicely. We then go to this one, Toulouse and Montpellier. Neither of their clubs are expensive. We then have FC Nantes and Lille, and neither of those clubs are expensive. Then go to Stade Rennais and Brestos, and I don't believe either of those clubs were expensive. Again, it's basically just the clubs which only have one or two golds at most. Where you go? Stade Rennais, yeah, no, they've got themselves like Ito and that lot, and as a result, you can see that these guys haven't been expensive. For if you're wondering why, again, certain clubs are expensive and certain ones aren't, there's so many gold rares, and the gold rares are kept a lot more than like silvers and bronzes, which means there was enough supply. Whereas again, if we look at this team, they've probably got not as many gold rares. You can see they're a little bit more expensive, but they do, still have a gold rare. Lens and Nice, neither of these two clubs are up. Strasbourg and Stade Rennais. Strasbourg are up slightly, but I don't think it's anything too crazy. If we go and check out the market right now, Ligue 1, Strasbourg. Again, this is what we did initially when the SBC came out. Yeah, so Strasbourg, well, I'd tell a lie actually. Strasbourg are up to, bear in mind they have a few golds playing for them. Strasbourg are up to 2.8. And I do believe Strasbourg actually do have a female team. They do indeed. And the Strasbourg female team likewise are up at around about 3k. So do make sure to go and check Strasbourg, male and female. We then move to Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne have gone to max price. This was again us literally checking if the Saint Etienne worked. So again, make sure to go and check your club right now for Saint Etienne players. We can go and check this out. I think, there you go. Saint Etienne in the men's league, and then Saint Etienne do indeed have a women's team. So again, another two clubs to go and check out. And then that ends it with Monaco and Angers. And again, Angers do only have a men's team, and that men's team are very, very expensive. In fact, pretty sure they're all extinct again. Another club with a lack of golds. There you go. You can see there's only one on the market, and they're 5k. So a few clubs to go and check out, including the Ligue 1 women's team. There were a few other things that were indeed up as a result. One thing I was quite surprised that wasn't up, because all of these clubs, or all of these SBCs do require an 80 rated team with 26 chemistry. I was quite surprised to see that the higher rated Ligue 1 players didn't rise. So for example, Lucas Hernandez, only 1.1k. I was quite surprised he wasn't inflated, because I thought, well, if people were needing 80 rated teams, but yeah, nothing really there. Bryce Samba is up as the highest rated cheap goalkeeper. What other things did we go and check with this then? I think there are a few other things we found that were a little bit expensive. Some other things that were slightly expensive in the Ligue 1. I think the Ligue 1 right wings were a little bit expensive. If I can go and grab these. There we go. Ligue 1 position right wings. There weren't anything too crazy, but I know that there is a lack of default right wings. And as you can see, there you go. Castillo's in that lot. Especially Asensio picking up their 700 coins at 1.2k. So really it's just the clubs I showed, and then Ligue 1 women. Well, what did this SBC go and do to the market? Because, it's supplying quite a lot. We've got premium Electrum pack, gold players pack, Electrum packs there, small Electrums, 2-player pack is a bit meh, and a gold players pack. And again, you get a mega pack for doing it all, and you can go and do this twice. So what did it go to do to stuff that was in packs as such? Well, for Sudamerica cards, it went crashed them yesterday. Sudamerica cards went from 3k down to 1.7k because of all the packs that were in this SBC. Team of the Weeks didn't really get affected as much as I thought they would. For example, St. Max only went from 2.8 down to 2.7 and has rebounded to 2.8 so far. Bellingham got panic sold a bit going into the SBC, but actually just rebounded once the SBC came out. So there's nothing too crazy with Team of the Weeks. Promo cards didn't really get panic sold that much. Again, going into him, it was 96k. He's currently 99k. Adeyemi, again, going into the SBC, dropped down to 366, but wasn't really affected, which, again, I was quite surprised by. But I would say there is, not so much long-term, but I would say there is definitely investment implications on this. As in, normally these cards will do really well from the Sunday through to the Wednesday, but I wouldn't be that confident that the Team of the Weeks this week will do that well because of the slow supply that these cards are going to get over the weekend. So traditionally, again, these cards rise from Sunday to Wednesday. We have nice rises. I don't think the rise is going to be very good this time because we're going to have slow supply, which otherwise we wouldn't really get. Because midweek, people would normally just go and do maybe the upgrade SBCs. They're all untradeable, and these cards can rebound. But obviously, this upgrade SBC is tradable, meaning I don't expect a great rebound and / a good investment on these cards. So previously, I would have recommended Courtois, Diaby, Adeyemi, but I'm not that confident that they'll do that well. So other than them dropping all of those League SBCs, which again I will go and cover in the on the tutorial channel about how to do that for cheaper, they obviously went and gave us a Tell. Now it's quite interesting because obviously Tell has received a few Evos which he's fit, which he's kind of ended up with a card just like this. It's interesting though, 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Bundesliga isn't that heavily pushed. It's definitely been pushed a lot more in the last week or two, but prior to that, I'd say there's a lot lower chance people are going to throw this guy in their team because of Bundesliga than they are because he is French. But his card is coming in quite nice. It's just the problem is if you play a lot of FIFA, I just would be very surprised if your strikers aren't better than that. But yeah, coming in with rapid and first touch, so obviously some nice dribbling play styles, and then power shot, finesse and chip shot, very, very nice. No passing play styles, no physical play styles. But yeah, I mean, again, if you haven't got two insane strikers, I guess he would not be too bad. His implications on the market are interesting. For example, his link investments, despite not looking like a bad card, his link investments went down. Lazaro went from 214 down to 200. Guerrero peaked in the pre-hype at 67, went down to 63. He is rising now. Muller went from 36 down to 34. Obviously, a bit more of a replacement than a link. Schiller, again, I think she was more of a link investment to Uberdorf. Went from 18k, crashed down there to 15k. Stanway, interesting enough, went from 71. She's now extinct at 75. Miller, again, went from 19k down to 17k, but has rebounded back up to 17. And we're not really seeing much movement on Kim Min Jae. So regarding those link investments, what can we take away from this? Well, we can see that they were quite heavily invested and then initially panic sold, but initially now are rising. So what I would say is anyone that has risen in the last few days, especially that are link investments to the likes of Tel, I do think will continue rising till Thursday evening, and I recommend selling on Thursday evening. Meaning if you want to go and buy the likes of Guerrero, if you want to go and buy the likes of... who else could you go and buy? If you want to go and buy the likes of Miller, Guerrero, probably would hold off Lazaro. I do think if they're an investment now, I'm going to go and sell Thursday evening because I do think they're demanded. Even though they had that initial drop, I think that was just over investment, and now I think again they'll continue rising onwards. Now, wouldn't really recommend the likes of Muller because of course striker for striker. Likewise with the likes of Schiller. Now some of those cards though were invested because of where is it? The Uberdorf SBC. Talk about the Uberdorf SBC in a sec. We've still got a few more things to talk about with the Tel SBC objective, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think it was very interesting that even though we went and got ourselves the Uberdorf SBC yesterday, Guerrero is someone who can play centre mid still rose, and I think that's just credit due to how undemanded the Uberdorf is, because yeah, it's not not the best value for money. Interesting observations as well on what happened to strikers. Now, obviously, some strikers were in packs. You could say, well, they dropped because of all the packs being open. Some strikers were out packed and they still dropped. So a mixture of Tel replacing them and then being packed for the League SBCs means we've seen, or from that League and SBC, means we've seen a mixed reaction on some strikers. For example, Son has gone from 106k down to 92k. Chiesa has gone from 26k, even though he's out of packs, down to 24k. Rafael Leao has gone from 280 down to 250. Adeyemi, something that was out of packs, wasn't really affected, which is quite interesting because he can be a Bundesliga striker. Yeah, he hasn't really been replaced that much. I mean, he is down like 4 or 5k, but I think he'll rebound anything he drops. Smith has gone from 50k, she went down there to 42k, and actually still down at 40. Martinez, obviously out of packs, was 127k before the SBC, went down there to 116, and is now back down to 120. Watkins was 78, went down to 76, back up to 78. So the strikers haven't really been too affected, way more so the stuff that's in packs, because of course it has been supplied via the packs and been replaced by the likes of Tel. What I think will happen, I think they'll slowly rebound going into Wednesday, the gold cards are in packs. The out-of-pack promo card should continue rising to a Thursday evening. I'm not worried about the long-term impact on these cards, or long-term as in between now and Thursday. I still think the strikers and the wingers can still rise, even with the Tel SBC. So that wraps up Tel. Now let's go and talk about the other SBC we got was Uberdorf. Now her playstyles are insane. That is one thing we'll talk about, I guess, first. Power shot, not that desirable on a CDM with low shooting, but long ball pass, very nice. Press proven, very nice. Bruiser, intercept, slide tackle, and anticipate. At least anticipate and intercept, very, very nice combo. Yeah, I mean, 75 pace, 70 shooting for a car that's 150. With us having Sissoko recently, I mean, 3 sub-80 stats is definitely a little bit subpar. I guess the worry with this card as well is that, Bundesliga teams just aren't that prevalent. So it's, are you forcing linking her in? Obviously, you can see her strong links didn't really go up. Interesting enough as well, we did see the likes of Stanway rise, despite her being the exact same club and the exact same position. So obviously, people are rating the Stanway over Uberdorf, even though she is half the price. And obviously you can put your SBC following her, whereas you just have to straight up buy her. The reason Stanway is so demanded as well is because of the ping pass, heavily backed by pros. So yeah, interesting trends on the likes of Stanway. But yeah, Uberdorf didn't really do too much regarding her link investments earlier. I showed you that her main link investment when it crashed like 4 or 5k yesterday. She went there from 18.5, she went down there to 16.5. And that's because a lot of people invested for that perfect link, only for it to not really be that desirable. On top of the SBCs, we only got ourselves an Evo. We only got ourselves Track Thunder, which is really weird because obviously yesterday's Evo helped pace and physical. This week's Evo, today's Evo, help pace and shoot physical. Obviously, I guess that's what the Prem's all about. Track stars, it's all about, I guess, people who excel in speed and strength, I can only presume. Well, there are some popular cards that were made, such as Mickey van der Ven. Obviously, he is out of packs. So, yeah, did go up to 10k yesterday. I mean, was he up a lot in the pre-hype? Went from 7k to 9.9, but obviously he's extinct. Don't expect to see a price range on him before he's back in packs. Llorente, another popular card. Sorry, let's go back to Van der Ven. What did it improve for Van der Ven? Gave him +1 pace, +3 dribbling, and +2 physicality. Not anything crazy, but I think any chance of putting these sort of meta cards into any sort of small boost are very heavily demanded. Llorente went and got himself just a plus dribbling, barely any plus dribbling. He got himself +5 physical. Now, the one controversial thing, I'll go back to Van der Ven for this, is that the playstyle plus they get is rapid, and rapid sounds really good, but actually if you deep dive into rapid, you'll see that, we'll do a little bit of reading for you. A player who is known to use speed and not the ball ahead of them, the effects, reaches a higher sprint speed when dribbling and has a reduced chance of error when sprinting or performing knock-ons. So rapid sounds like it'd be really good, but the reality is it's a playstyle that makes your player faster and more efficient if they're on the ball. So giving it to players like Van der Ven, yeah, it looks really nice on paper, but why would you care about your centre-back being fast on the ball? They're not really the sort of players you're wanting to surge up the pitch with. Now, obviously, there's more of an argument for someone like Llorente. You could say, well, you know, him being a fullback, you know, making darting runs. The only worry is when he gets up there, then his passing, shooting, and dribbling isn't the best. Someone that might be a little bit more interesting for, to be honest, is Alphonso Davies. You know, definitely I would say more of an attacking fullback. Definitely does another shooting or passing, but he's got a bit high dribbling, and his pace is, you know, very, very nice if you want to play him a bit more offensively. But yeah, Alphonso Davies, what did his card do yesterday? Again, another card that's out of packs. He went from 3.7 and he is up there to 6k. Personally, I don't think there's anything too crazy in terms of what I'd want to go and, you know, put players into this EVO and go and do them, but, you know, nonetheless, obviously it's popular amongst others. Diego Dalot, again, another popular card, got himself a +4 pace, gets himself a +2 dribbling and a +5 physicality. And again, not really seeing much of a rise on his base card. And that kind of wraps up the content we did go and get yesterday. Trying to think if there was anything else we need to talk about. Oh yeah, there is something we were going to talk about. So obviously we went and got ourselves the League SBC, and obviously, you know, a lot of the clubs of this League SBC did very, very well. So you may ask, well, how can I go and, you know, people in my stream are asking, okay, surely they're going to go and drop this for other leagues. Now, obviously, if you guys aren't aware, this whole season is all about the Ligue 1. It's all about France. If we can head over here, you can see Tolisso, French. So if we scroll along a little bit more, we've got Carpenter, Ligue 1 Women's League. Scroll along a little bit more. All right, you've got Bally, who's an icon. Scroll along a little bit more. Again, another French icon. Now, obviously, the Marlin and the Grealish were a little bit of an exception, but you can see that everything is French and French League good. So that is the reason why we went and got ourselves the tell with the French thing. So the best thing to do is wait till we know the next league season pass, and then identify the clubs that basically have no more than like one goal. Well, basically you don't want them having any gold rares. So obviously the first season was the La Liga, so it's not going to be the La Liga. So let's say it's going to be Germany in the Bundesliga. So what you want to do is you'd want to go through these clubs, and you'd want to go and find the ones that have a lack of gold rares. So for example, Mainz, not looking too bad. I mean, I can just go gold rare actually, and this will identify what they're looking like. So Mainz obviously have core, and they've got a few non-rares, so it's not the worst club, but let's go and find something that might be a little bit better. Let's go with St. Pauli. St. Pauli don't have any gold rares, they don't have any golds. So St. Pauli is the club that if they did go and drop the Bundesliga next, they'd go extinct. So be more than happy to go and stock St. Pauli. Again, Heideheim, how many golds are they sitting on? Yeah, they've got a few non-rares, but we've seen clubs like St. Etienne, even though they got a few gold non-rares, they didn't do very well. Clubs like Hostel Klein, again, no golds, they do very well if there was needed. Now, again, it's not guaranteed that the Bundesliga is next, but it will probably be the Bundesliga, the Serie A, or the Premier League next. So, yeah, just be aware of that. On top of that, you should be all good if you guys want to do icon trading or hero trading through the week. Icons and heroes are expected to consistently rise through the week. There are some icons we went and picked up yesterday. Did get a little bit screwed over because some of these icons did go and drop as a 6 PM content yesterday. Did they drop because of all the packs being opened? Did they drop because of the Hero SBC? Who knows? That's actually some reason we haven't even covered yet. The Hero SBC actually came out a fair bit more than we expected it being. Last time they Last time when they released the Hero SBC, it was up 130k the prior time. The time after that, it was 80. Last time it was 135. This time it was 120. So nowhere near as cheap as we thought we'd go and get this SBC. But at least next time we're going to go and get a player pick. Player pick will come in 2 weeks, and then I think we might go and get a base icon as next Sunday's SBC. So fodder, not really anticipated to do that well this week, but I do bank fodder being a nice investment. Probably picking up like Thursday morning with division rivals. If not, we can maybe go Saturday evening if we're happy to gamble on no well-demanded SBCs. But yeah, with an icon SBC and more likely than not a live promo next week, it will probably be a decent week for fodder. But that is going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and we'll see you guys with a tutorial video on the tutorial channel and a stream from around about 10:30 all the way through to 6:30. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.